Sometimes exploring a different culture can be just plain fun. Woo! Sometimes it can be eye-opening.
That's one of the coolest things I have ever seen in my life.
And sometimes it can be all of those things all at once, and it can put you outside your comfort zone just a little bit.
So I'm conflicted. Can't say I've had fun, but I'm glad I got to see it. I'm glad I have a margarita too. That helps.
On this trip, I learned to take life with a grain of salt, combined with a slice of lime and a shot of tequila.
Ah! Oh my God!
If I say the word Mexico to you, I bet your mind immediately wanders to a few distinct things. If I'm guessing right, you probably think about margaritas and beaches, sombreros and mariachi bands. And I'll admit, I usually think about the same things. But I can tell you what I don't think about when I think of Mexico, and that is jungle. And regardless of my preconceived notions, that's exactly where I'm headed, to the Mexican jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula. And I find myself driving south through that peninsula to the Mexican province of Campeche to chase after the ocellated turkey and the gray-brown brocket deer, both of which live in the jungle, and both of which are the specialty of a family-run outfit called YukKutz Hunting. And when I arrive, I am met by a guy named Diego. His father started YukKutz hunting almost 20 years ago after he brought a young Diego and his family down here to hunt on their own. Over the years, they've built up YukKutz to be the premier outfitter in the Yucatan. And as I get first eyes on the camp, I'll tell you it was not what I was expecting at all.
Well, that's officially the first time that I've ever been in a camp with a parrot. It's like African jungle camp.
Yeah, actually we based our lodge in an African style. After we went to South Africa, we liked it so much and we brought a little piece of Africa to Mexico.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, man.
Unbelievable.
Okay, let's go for a beer.
Seriously?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I like this guy.
A cold Mexican beer in Mexico will always be one of my favorite things on the planet. I'm the first to arrive of a whole new group of hunters that are coming in today, and so Diego and I got to enjoy that nice cold beer in some nice peace and quiet. But when the other hunters arrived into camp, well, out came something that I think I love more than an ice cold beer in Mexico, and that's a fresh margarita in its birthplace. I mean, few things help people get to know each other better than some margaritas, right?
Cheers, ladies.
And while most of us elected to hang out at the bar and just enjoy our first night in camp, one guy decided to forego the margaritas and head out to hunt. And when he got back, let's just say he gave us something to celebrate.
I see turkeys. The first hunters just came back. Day one, and somebody's already got a bird. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Pretty.
Está enterito de la pluma, ¿ya viste?
Ay, qué hermoso, mira.
Beautiful. Look at those
Colors.
Incredible. Congratulations. Thank you. Wow.
Beautiful.
This is the first time I've ever seen one of these live in person, and it gets me so excited for tomorrow. I'm gonna admit it, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous that these guys got out before I did.
I might be a little envious, but it's nothing that another margarita can't take care of.
It's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And one of my favorite things about any place I go is the first morning. It's exciting. Except after a couple margaritas last night, this crew is a lot quieter than it was last night. Nobody's saying a word.
A few much needed cups of coffee later, and I head outside and meet my guides.
My chariot and my guys, Jose, Alex, Jose and Alex. These are my guys. And this is their Jeep. And here we go.
There are 6 different species of turkeys in the world, and all of the male turkeys, except for the ocellated, have a beard on the front of their chest. But it seems that they make up for that lack of a beard with their truly unique and bright coloring, and a mating strut that I would best describe as extra fancy. after putting up a blind in the middle of the jungle and sitting there all morning, there wasn't a turkey to be found anywhere. But we did see something that I didn't even know existed. This is a coatimundi, and it is unlike anything I've ever seen.
It's so cool.
Coatimundis, which are also known as hog-nosed raccoons, are actually distantly related to the raccoons that we all know back home. Personally, I think this guy's one of the coolest animals I've ever seen. I think this guy was as curious about us as I was of him. But after a 10-minute stare down, he finally decided he'd had enough and exited stage right. And that was just in time for something very exciting to enter stage left. This is my very first time ever laying eyes on the infamous gray-brown brocket deer, and it is widely considered to be one of the hardest big game species to hunt in the world. And it's one of the reasons that I'm here in this jungle in the first place. The gray-brown brocket deer is one of several brocket deer species that occur throughout Central and South America, and they call them the jungle ghost for good reason. YukKutz Hunting has an incredibly high success rate on gray-brown brocket deer, and now on my first morning of hunting, I have my Frankie pointed right at one. But today is not my day, because we quickly realized that this one is a female.
It got my heart pounded because we really thought that was a buck. And they started saying, banana, banana, which is brocket deer. I'm looking, I can't see it. I mean, it's literally thick jungle in here. That was so cool. I love it. It's a good way to start this thing off.
These nut trees that are in this area, that's why we were here. That's why we were in that spot. That's what those brocket deer are feeding on. And he's pointing out to me, and I said, well, nombre, you know what? I know no Spanish, but I know name, right? I said, what's its name? And what did you say? What's the name? I'm like, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Is it Mayan?
It's Maya.
Mayan, yeah.
Maya.
So it's a Mayan word. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm just going to call it the nut tree.
I'm in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula hunting in the jungle for the very first time. And over a few days of hunting, I have explored this thick jungle both on foot and by truck. So far, our luck hasn't been great. But after we got done hunting this morning, my luck seemed to change a little bit. And we found something that somebody lost a long time ago.
Look at that. That's an old piece of Mayan pottery. Unbelievable.
Lo ponía su agua.
For agua.
Su agua.
For collecting. I wonder how long that's been here. Thousands of years. Wow. Good spot. Like, I want to just sit here and stare at that. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's like finding an arrowhead, only way cooler. We're going to leave it here. Right where it should be.
You can't talk about the history and the culture of this area without talking about the Mayans. Signs of the Mayan people can be found here from as early as 1500 BC. That culture flourished for thousands of years into an agricultural and artistic juggernaut, and the ruins of the incredible cities that they built are still dotted all over this part of the world. Once I got back to camp and got a shower, I sat down with Diego to learn more about how the Mayan culture has affected his family's business.
I've been to a lot of camps all over the world. This is not what I was expecting at all.
These roofs that are called palapas are from the south of Mexico, you know, like the Mayan culture, to keep everything fresh. You know, the Mayan culture here, it's so big that, you know, our guides still speak Mayan between them. It's amazing, you know. I really like the culture and honoring the past. You know, I'm not a Mayan. All our guides are, and this is their land, so we honor it. And actually, for example, this tree, this is the Mayan sacred tree that is called ceiba, and we put it in the center of the lodge, you know, honoring them. And when my father built this place, he brought a Mayan priest to bless the place.
So for you, you might not be born in this area, but it's
become a big part of who you are.
Oh, yes.
And so therefore, it's important to you to honor the Mayan tradition that's here.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I love that. Hundreds of ruins from the cities of the Mayan civilization can be found all across Mexico, Belize, Honduras, and Guatemala. But it's here in the Yucatan Peninsula that some of the most remarkable of these ruins can be found. So the next morning, with all this Mayan culture and history on my brain, I decide to take a break from the hunting to see one of these ancient cities for myself. And that brings me an hour away from camp to the ruins of a Mayan city called Edzna. And it's here that I meet up with tour guide and historian Wilbert Salas. He's of Mayan descent, and his passion for this place is immediately evident.
Mayans believe gods or the kings could convert in animals. And they were super powerful animals. And the sun god convert in a jaguar.
Wilbert tells me that the Mayan culture flourished for thousands of years. At its height, the civilization had over 40 major cities, some with populations of over 50,000. But sometime around 950 AD, some of these cities become abandoned, and the reasons for that are still up for debate. By the time the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, many parts of the civilization were already in decline. Over the next 2 centuries, nearly every Mayan city was either conquered or abandoned. And in the case of this city of Edzna, Wilbur tells me that when it was abandoned, the earth began to reclaim it.
I have some picture to show you. When the archaeologists arrived, everything was covered with trees. Because when the Mayans abandoned, here, naturally, the forest covered naturally the buildings.
So all this was buried?
Yeah.
Because we're so far in the middle of nowhere here.
Exactly.
That no one was coming out here.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
Most people visit these places believe Mayan buildings were built by extraterrestrial beings or something like that, and one night with laser, and that's not true.
As Wilbur shows me around, it's obvious that no, this place was definitely not built by aliens. Instead, as I walk around these ruins, I cannot fathom the amount of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that went into building this place. This is already one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and that was even before I laid eyes on the crown jewel of this ancient city. Wow. Oh my gosh. That literally just took my breath away. That's one of the coolest things I have ever seen in my life.
House of the King.
That leaves me speechless. The House of the King was the religious center of this city, and the Mayans worshipped over 250 gods. As we walk down below the Palace of the King, Wilbur tells me that there was even a god for hunting, and that the Ocellated Turkey is actually at the center of some of their religious practices.
They believe hunting the turkeys and the deers were super important. For example, even now in our communities, before rainy season, Mayan priests in Mayan communities offer ocellated turkey, like offering to the rain gods.
Really? Wilbert goes on to tell me that the name of the company that I'm hunting with, YukKutz, is actually a combination of 2 Mayan words. Yuk, which means deer, and kutz, which means turkey. Now that's a Mayan that I can remember. Even an old dog can learn new tricks. I've been hunting in the Yucatan Peninsula for ocellated turkey for several days. Today, my guides and I set up a blind on the edge of a milo field. And then one of the guides, Alex, pulls out a secret weapon.
It's literally a CD player with a box with a speaker on it. That's awesome. Mayan ingenuity. These Mayans, they're smart.
All laughing aside, Alex's call must have sounded pretty damn good, because just a few minutes after he turned it on, suddenly, out of nowhere, this happened. I don't even know what to say. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. The ancient Mayans held turkeys in the highest esteem. I cannot believe how fast that happened. Well, that's officially the furthest I've ever traveled for a turkey. Right there. They considered them powerful, and they valued their iridescent feathers and their impressive leg spurs. And now here I am, holding one of those turkeys next to men whose ancestors built the very temples that surround this area. And as we admire this beautiful bird, I am truly moved by the fact that the Mayan people consider this bird a messenger of the gods. And that is a tagged out turkey. I am tagged out in Mexico. It's time for a margarita. I've had a lot of margaritas. Margarita after killing a turkey just makes it better. And after that margarita, we measure the spurs and take some pictures with the other successful hunters in camp, give some hugs and high fives all around, and then of course we have another margarita. After all, this has been a trip steeped in culture. And when in Mexico, do as the Mexicans do, right? So we pour another margarita, and then Diego takes me somewhere with deep cultural significance and a controversial past. Wow.
This is called palenque, my friend. Always a good time. It's not about the killing. It's about all the party and...
Yeah, I feel like I'm somewhere I shouldn't be. Because in my head, I have an idea that this is always like bad, but the truth is this is totally legal here.
Yeah, it's 100% legal, and it's been in our culture since a very long time. And in some states it's illegal, but here in the Yucatan, it's legal. So
well,
we're gonna share a little bit with you guys and see how it goes.
Hey, there's the first time for everything. If you haven't figured out what we're talking about, this is a cockfighting ring, a place where roosters fight to the death for sport. Cockfighting is a tradition that's deeply ingrained in Mexican culture, and it can be traced all the way back to Aztec and Mayan roots. The Mayans believed that roosters symbolized bravery and strength, and cockfighting was seen as an homage to the gods of war and fertility. Nowadays, it's still deeply rooted in the traditions of Mexico, but also highly controversial. And this area of the Yucatan is one of the few places where it's still legal. After watching this for a little while and seeing the entire thing go down, I can understand the excitement of it all. And I love culture and I like experiencing other cultures, but I'm conflicted. It's like a boxing match. I like watching them duke it out, but then I kind of want the bell to ring and for it to end, because do you want to go to a boxing match and watch a boxer die every time? I don't. So I'm conflicted. Can't say I've had fun, but I'm glad I got to see it, at least just once. I'm glad I have a margarita too. That helps. Experiencing other cultures firsthand can sometimes be a little messy, and sometimes it might put you outside your comfort zone just a little bit. And that might mean that you have to eat something that you might not like, beef intestine, or do something that scares the crap out of you. But the way I see it, better to experience it and know about it than to sit on the sidelines and wish one day that you had. Here in the Yucatan, I saw history and culture in the raw. I drank the local drink, made new friends, hunted an animal that has religious significance, and took in a controversial cultural scene that has been around for thousands of years. If that ain't living, I don't know what is. Travel to new places makes me feel alive. And like the great Ernest Hemingway once wrote, you better try to be alive, because you'll be dead soon enough. Now this is how you end a good hunt. Fresh, wild, ocellated turkey. Right here in the heart of Mayan country. Life's pretty good, gotta be honest. Cheers.